Had a Yamaha Promedian WorldSBK team principal Paul Denning gave a summary of what his riders were working on during day 1. Now with a full team as Yamaha's new recruit Jonathan Rea is joined for the first time by Andrea Locatelli. Jerez was the venue for the first hard testing to take place, after the first test at the start of November was primarily focused on allowing the 6-time world champion to get comfortable with the bike. Sun throughout the day and within the 20 degrees range, conditions look set to be favorable once again for the second day of testing on Tuesday. Talking about Jonathan Rea's adaptation to Yamaha machinery, Denning was positive. The speed and reaction from the Yamaha guys between the first test and this one, just to bring some hardware that suits him better in terms of rider position and just small preferences. I think he's been delighted that stuff has been designed, manufactured and delivered and bolted to the bike to his request. There's no doubting their commitment to get the bike to suit him. He's not really had to adapt his riding style, he looks very comfortable as he did at the first test. As always, it's the last couple of tenths that are the challenge in terms of outright pace and consistency. The more he gets to know the bike and the more he can exploit its advantages, the more that pace will come. On the basis of what we've seen so far, it could have been a bit of a worry, I think he said as much himself. Whether, after 9 years on the same bike, he could ride something new. However, I think those doubts were expelled after 15 laps on the first test day. About what was worked on across day 1, team principal Paul Denning evaluated the team's work. All manufacturers and teams are looking to improve their packages for next season and try to become world champion. We're in that group and therefore, development never stops and the quest for increased performance never stops. We tested elements that will help with outright speed and hardware components, searching for more stability, grip and corner entry speed. Some big stuff, some small stuff, and we split the workload between the riders and had a super solid day. Johnny did 88 laps across 3 bikes and then 82 laps for Loca across 2 different bikes. That's 750 kilometers odd across both of them, so that's a lot of data for the guys to look at. In terms of mileage, consistency and without problems or crashes, it was a very productive day indeed. You can't get through all the test list componentry and hardware if you're continuing changing the setup of the bike, looking for outright performance, continued Denning. Both riders did 2 or 3 base runs, just to get to a position where the bike was relatively comfortable and then started the test program. Given that fact, the consistency and level of performance was really encouraging. We're looking for more acceleration, and obviously, if you accelerate better then you have better top speed. We tested a lot of mechanical parts across engine and chassis to aid our overall performance. If I say a rear swing arm or fork clamp, then it's a piece of hardware that honestly, as the team manager, you get to a certain level where you're not going to be looking at the bike going, wow, that's brand new. The changes are very nuanced and carefully thought out. The R1 is a bike that is not a new machine, so the changes we're making are very much based on everything the engineers and the team already know. We're just looking to eke out that last little bit of performance. The level of the bike is already very competitive and very good. In order to become world champion, there's still a big gap between Alvaro Bautista and the rest of the field in the points at the end of the year. We've got work to do, and that's why we're here doing 750 kilometers today. It's great to do that amount, especially for Jonathan, as nothing beats the experience of the bike becoming yours after so many laps.